going on, guys? Will back with another episode of Body Factory. Some good information today regarding food, but not what you think. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised about what you hear, especially if those of you that are physique athletes that like to diet down and get, shredded or ripped for the summertime, or if you're one of those that just needs to lose a few pounds to feel good about yourself and about how you want to present yourself. Also, very good information coming your way. But first, let's talk about Old School Labs, guys. Old School Labs are in a huge 4th of July sale on all your specials, all your favorite products, okay? Now, the sale is this: 30, 40, or 50% off, depending on the item, but almost everything, I mean literally everything, is on sale from now until the 4th. So take advantage of it. If you're not stocking up now, I don't know when there's going to be a better time. Click on the link below, get yourself to Old School Labs, take advantage of this sale. Go America. What else can you say? Old school training, old school country, best at both. Here we go. 30, 40, 50% off. This is Vintage Bounty. I've talked about this one before, but don't forget your pre-workout, Vintage Blast. This one, strawberry kiwi, delicious. Actually, this one's, strawberry kiwi, delicious. I mean, the flavor on this with a little bit of Vintage Build, unflavored pre-workout, come on. You can't miss. You can't miss. And then I can't let you go without mentioning, at least, and we're going to highlight one of these products in a little bit, but Nitro 3D. This changed my workouts completely. The blend that's in here of ingredients, and there's 6, I believe, 5 patent ingredients that Old School Labs has come up with Nick Trigili on this. And I'm going to tell you what, your pump will be out of this world. I can't even explain it, okay? You have your pre-workout about 30 minutes before, Vintage Blast with maybe some Build or some other BCAAs, and then you start sipping on this during your workout. Pumps are outrageous, guys, outrageous. So stay tuned for a little more information on one of these products. But remember, oldschoollabs.com, use the click the link below. 30, 40, or 50% off from now until the 4th. Stock up. Stock up. All right, now, commercial over. Let's talk about flavor. Wait, did I say flavor? Food, flavor, all the same. Okay, so here's the crux of the message today. I like to eat. I have no problem eating enough for what I'm trying to accomplish, especially if it's the right food, something that's not super heavy, not fat laden, like beef, or when I say beef, I mean any beef, but hamburger is the one that most people think of when you say beef. I'm talking about steak or anything that's high fat content. Of course, that was in another life because I am vegan. So I'm not eating foods like that anymore. So now, tofu, imitation protein sources, seitan, pronunciation's a little off there. If you miss it might offend someone. Anyway, these sort of protein sources are good plant-based sources of protein, hence Vintage Bounty, okay? 4 sources of vegetable protein right in here, okay? Vegetable and carbohydrate protein right here. Excellent flavor, mixes well with water. Anyway, so I have no problem eating. Now the problem becomes the monotony of the meals. All right, so you're with your trainer, you're working with us, whomever it is, and they put together your nutritional package. And they say, have your oatmeal, have your eggs or your egg substitute, have your piece of fruit, bang, there's your morning, right? And you're supposed to eat that till, I don't know, I guess you're dead, right? There's hardly ever any time to switch it up or do anything else. So how do you get through that? How do you manage eating similar foods all the damn time? How do you do it? Flavor, guys, flavor. I'm going to tell you right now, food should not be boring. It just should not. Now, when I talk about the protein powders and some of the shake stuff that Old School Labs puts out there, that's excellent, great. But that's substitute. It's called a supplement for a reason. You need to eat whole food. But for me, for instance, and I'll cover this in another video, But my breakfast is the same, and it's been the same for a lot of years. I like oatmeal with some Splenda, some stevia and some cinnamon. And then I used to like eggs. Now it's tofu. Okay, so I chop up some tofu. I put a little bit of salt, pepper, and a piece of vegan cheese on there. And then I have an orange. Okay, orange packed with water, packed with flavor. It makes eating the meal much better, much easier. Now, how do I switch that up? How do I eat the same foods a different way? Okay, same foods a different way. Well, flavor. Use different flavors. I like paprika and black pepper on my tofu, and I can eat that every day. Okay, every day, literally every day. But maybe you feel like you need a change, so you use Tabasco sauce. Now you got to watch your salt content depending on where you are with your dieting. If you're somebody that's training for contest, you probably got to be a lot more strict, right? Okay, if you're somebody that's trying to lose weight, sodium replacement isn't terrible unless you have a health issue related to sodium, meaning your blood pressure's high, you have some heart issues, etc., maybe heart rate. Got to watch that sodium intake, so maybe that's not a good idea to use something like that as replacement. But there's all kinds of sodium-free stuff. I think Tony's is a good example of that. I think it's Tony's. I don't use it much, but my girls do. Sprinkle that on there, have a lot of different seasonings in it. Just give yourself a chance. Sauces are okay, but account for them in your macro profile, right? So if you like barbecue sauce on your chicken, in my case, I eat a lot of tofu. I like mandarin sauce, so I'll use it. Measure it, right? Measure it. It's 40 grams. You just have your bowl of rice and tofu and veggies right there on the scale with your almonds inside there, and you just pour until you hit 40 grams. Mix it all up. Offers great flavor, but you also have to account for those sugars, and you also have to account for those carbohydrates within your macro profile. So whatever that's being out, you got to break that down. Whatever that's supposed to be, you got to break that down, okay, to fit it in there, because you don't want to exceed your caloric load, especially if you're in a weight loss situation. You don't want to do it often, okay? Your trainer will definitely put forth some times where you overeat to bump your metabolism back up, depending on how long you've been dieting, and that's okay. But flavor is huge, guys. So take advantage of the flavor. All kinds of things out there. The other thing, I would recommend, and I do this with a lot of my clients that I work with, cook your food, okay? Cook your food. In the morning, when I start heating up the pan and I get the oatmeal going and I smell the cinnamon and I smell the flavors starting to aromatize the room, with the paprika and the black pepper and some of these other things, the orange gets cut open and the aroma from that, flowery aroma, it's wonderful. It gets my metabolism started, gets my taste buds wanting to eat, and then I prepare that meal and I eat it. Okay, so now there's self-satisfaction and accomplishment there too. So if you do nothing else the rest of the day, at least you know you got up, you prepared your breakfast accordingly, and you ate it and you enjoyed it, okay? Even if you did nothing else the rest of the day, an accomplishment, okay? And then dinner time, I always cook, right? You pack your meals, you do all this, you bring them with you. It's a grind, and it gets boring, it gets monotonous. So flavor and cook a couple meals a day. Just take some time to do it. I know we're busy. I know we got kids, we got grandkids, we got whatever we got going on in our life. But try to carve out that time a couple times a day, you and your spouse, you by yourself, you with your kids. Prepare those couple of meals. They'll get some satisfaction out of it too, and feel a sense of accomplishment. And the food will just taste better. It just does, okay? So flavor is huge. You want to stay on your meal plan, you got to figure out how to flavor correctly and be creative. There's a lot of stuff out there that you guys can use to flavor your food. You can use berries. Berries are super high in antioxidants and pretty low in carbohydrate load. So in some cases, depending on how much you want to use, you might not even need to add them in to your profile, okay? Now, I recommend, if you're being meticulous, again, when we're talking about contest dieting, some of these things don't apply. But for the general person that's trying to cut down a little body fat before the summertime, or just stay healthier or lose. All right, guys, a little quick edit here, okay? I apologize, I got interrupted yesterday, so it's the next morning. I'm finishing this up. I'll be brief. We were at the berries and the contest dieting, so I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page with this, okay? So when you're contest dieting, we have a baseline we're working with when we start that contest prep. Here's the foods we're going to eat. We're going to eat them for the next 13 weeks at the same time. We're going to train at the same time. We're going to use the same supplements all the way through. We're going to try to eliminate as many variables as possible. So if you just decide one day you're going to throw some berries in something to flavor it, not a good idea. You got to clear that with your coach. Is the diet getting so bad mentally that you can't get through it? We need to make a change. That's where that person comes in handy, okay? We can make those changes, but we also don't know where we are in that process when we're doing it. We got to be careful with that. So meticulousness, whole nother thing. To make sure you stay on your meal plan so you're healthier. If your goal is to lose weight, lose the amount of weight you want, to look the way you want to shape your physique, you want to add some muscle in the off season. If you're in an off season, you want to be a better athlete. The way to stick to it is have a good, consistent nutritional load that works for your body. And sometimes that gets monotonous, guys. I'm just going to be honest, it does. So use flavor. Sauces, make sure you're clearing them with your coach because they do have carbohydrates in them. A lot of them do. There is sugar-free. I think Sweet Baby Ray's has a sugar-free version. I like Sweet Baby Ray's, not going to lie. And so, you can check that out. Or I think his name is Flanagan. I forget his first name. He's a IFBB pro bodybuilder. Just won the California Pro, actually, out in, I think it's in Anaheim. Anyway, the Flavor Gang, so check him out as well. Flavor Gang, I might drop a link below. He has a lot of different flavored stuff for your foods, okay? So flavor is a big part of making sure you stay on track with your diet, and I'm here to tell you that that's literally the only way to do it, okay? Because to prevent you from, smashing Oreos at the end of the night, if your food tastes good, you satisfy that craving, okay? Remember, if you guys want specific coaching, smash that subscribe button below if you like this content. Leave us a comment, but you can also drop some questions in the comments as well, and we can get back to you on that. Our IG handle is @body_factory_inc. A lot of content there as well. For specific coaching, please send us a DM, send us a message, letting us know you're interested, and we can talk through what your particular goals are, where you want to go with that, and how we're going to get there, okay? Now, lastly, but not least, Old School Labs. Okay, guys, 50, 40, 30% off just about everything in the store. Vintage Base, your multivitamin, #1 supplement I recommend to anybody doing anything at any point in their life. Make sure you have the right macro profile. This thing is outrageously good. It also includes your probiotics. Like I mentioned, Old School Labs got it together on the formulations, guys. I'm telling you, these guys know what they're doing. Vintage Base, go get some. 30, 40, 50% off. Click the link below. Use code 4th on the way out. Until we see you again, have a wonderful 4th of July, guys.